Well, next, let's queer up South Florida and Florida. It's not the Jetsons flying car, but electric air taxis coming to the gayest place on planet Earth. Miami Airline executive Ed Wegel is launching a new venture to revolutionize urban transportation, especially in South Florida. Recently, Wegel announced the creation of UrbanLink, a South Florida air taxi service using eVTOL, otherwise known as electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. This marks the latest chapter in Wegel's career, which began in the 1980s. UrbanLink has ordered 20 electric aircraft from Lilium, a German manufacturer. These aircraft can carry 6 passengers and fly distances of up to 100 miles. The company stated, quote, UrbanLink will lead the entry into service and management of advanced air mobility in South Florida and will expand to other markets, including Los Angeles, end quote. The company plans to start the certification process with the FAA and the U.S. Department of Transportation in early 2025, with operations expected to begin by summer of 2026. UrbanLink aims to connect key locations across Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. The move comes as the aviation industry increasingly adopts electric aircraft in response to climate concerns. Major airlines are investing in similar technologies. Delta Airlines, in partnership with Joby Aviation, plans city-to-airport services in Los Angeles and New York, while United Airlines is preparing to launch an air taxi service in Chicago next year with eVTOLs from Archer Aviation. In Miami, Ed Wegel tries to replicate the industry advancement for the betterment of Floridians. The all-electric vertical taxis could revolutionize the LGBTQ+ community. For example, the average commute time from Wilton Manors to Miami Beach Pride takes, an hour and 45 minutes-ish. The air taxi will fly point to point at 150 miles an hour and reduce the commute to approximately 10 minutes. Finally, while we won't own the Jetsons flying car, this news is likely going to change our LGBTQ+ world. Well, hallelujah. I mean, we've all know what it is to sit on I-95 north or south. So this will, and it's only been a matter of time. Of course, I think that this has been happening, right? I mean, the technology's been around and such. Right. So I think it's pretty amazing. And what Florida, I believe South Florida is really needs the most is some kind of mass transportation, because it's very bad, very bad. And I don't know how affordable these eVTOLs are going to be. But it's a great start, and I applaud it.
It definitely is a great start. And listen, sign me up. I live in Fort Lauderdale. I work in Miami. Listen, sign me up for a 10-minute commute. But to your point, Dale, I think that I wonder how expensive this is going to be, right? Especially with given the technology, given that it's going to get you there in 10 minutes, it might be unaffordable and unattainable for the regular commuter that goes back and forth between Broward and Miami, or West Palm to Miami. And so we do need, I think this raises a question or a discussion around mass transportation and a better mass transportation for the region. So it's not even just Miami-Dade, but it's like South Florida in general. So Miami-Dade, Broward,
New York,
right.
All those years, it's like so easy to get around.
That's right.
And then you move here and you're
difficult. I mean, sometimes to get from the beach to Brickell, South Beach to Brickell,
45 minutes.
45 minutes an hour, like depending on the causeway and whether it's backed up or not. You just never know. So something like this is great. But to your point, and I love the fact that you brought it up, affordability is always an issue with new technologies like this.
And I can't help but think maybe they're bringing it here as opposed to other places, because here in South Florida, especially in Miami, we have plenty of people that can afford it pretty much no matter how they price it.
Right.
And I was just on a call this morning about Miami tourism, where they talked about the prices on Brightline, which was supposed to be such an awesome thing.
It's so expensive.
It's amazingly still so expensive, especially if you just want to use it for a commute between counties. It's like $40 a ride.
Yeah, it's very good. And if you wanted the VIP experience, forget about it.
Well, that's why I'm a student and I take Brightline and I get a lovely 25%.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I just went to Orlando for $40.
Round trip?
$80 round trip.
Oh, right. Well, that's still.
But I mean, that was great.
That's what they're charging for Fort Lauderdale to Miami right now.
Yeah,
that's
it
is.
But who's going to be flying these cars? I mean, this I mean, Uber drivers get 6 months worth of a class and they're driving these cars. Are they going to serve cocktails?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Yeah.
And the thought of one day, like in the future, of like buses, actual buses, doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Because if you're thinking in the Jetsons mentality, you think
That's right.
because you've gone from the Flintstones, which the Jetsons, of course, was
The flying
the
bus?
antithesis to that.
You know,
Right,
there
that's
was it was a prototype, but before the Brightline came, it was like a hover train that was supposed to go up and down the southeast coast of Florida, and it was supposed to like go over the traffic and then stop at certain stations. But I think that was just too expensive for
Yeah, it
the
sounds
technology.
Well, we can hope and see. So.
Yes. We'll hope that it gets cheap more quickly like the latest TV does, you know?
Sorry.